is the factor of division. Where there is division, there is not only conflict, but disorder. You could see so happening actually in the world. I mean, all this problem of energy, all this problem of war, peace and all that, can all be solved absolutely when there are not separate governments, sovereign armies, and say, look, let's solve this problem all together, for God's sake. We are human beings. This earth is meant for us to live on. Not Arabs and Israelis and America and Russia. It's our earth.
And it's round. Yes.
But we will never do that because our minds are so conditioned to live in disorder, to live in conflict.
And vocation is given a religious description in terms of the task of cleaning up the disorder with my idea of order.
Your idea of order is the fact that has produced disorder.
Exactly.
So it brings up a question, so it's very interesting. Can the mind observe itself without the observer? But the observer is the observed. Disorder, the observer who says, I will bring order in disorder, that observer itself is a fragment of disorder.
Yes.
Therefore, it can never bring about order. So can the mind be aware of itself as a movement of disorder, not trying to correct it, not trying to justify it, not trying to shape it, just to observe. I said previously, to observe sitting on the banks of a river and watch the waters go by. You see, I mean, then you see much more. But if you are in the middle of it swimming, you'll see nothing.
I've never forgotten that it was when I stopped questioning and I stood before that droplet of dew on the leaf that everything changed. Totally.
Right.
Totally. And what you say is true. Once something like that happens, there isn't a regression from it.
Oh, no, sir,
Yes.
it is not once, it is...
Forever. It's, yes.
It
Yes.
is not an incident that took place. It is, my life is not an incident, it is a movement.
Exactly.
And in that movement, I observe this movement of disorder. And therefore, the mind itself is disorderly. And how can that disorderly, chaotic, contradictory, absurd little mind bring about order? It can't. Therefore, a new factor is necessary. And the new factor is to observe, to perceive, to see without the perceiver.
To perceive without the perceiver. To perceive without the perceiver.
Because the perceiver is the perceived.
Yes.
If you once grasp that, then you see everything without the perceiver. You don't bring in your personality, your ego, your selfishness. You say, disorder is the factor which is in me, not out there. The politicians trying to bring about order, when they are themselves so corrupt. You follow, sir? How
Yes, I
can
do.
they bring order?
It's impossible. It's impossible. It's a one long series of
And
palliatives.
that's what's happening in the world, where the politicians are ruling the world. From Moscow, from Delhi, from Washington, wherever it is. It's the same pattern being repeated. Living a chaotic, corrupt life, you try to bring order in the world. It's childish. So, that's why transformation of the mind is not your mind or my mind. It's the mind, the human mind.
Or the mind trying to order itself, even. Not even that.
Now, how can I...
It's because
a blind man trying to bring about color. And he says, well, that's grey, and for it has no meaning. So, can the mind observe this disorder in itself without the observer who has created disorder? So this brings a very simple thing. To look at a tree, at a woman, at a mountain, at a bird, or a sheet of water with a light on it, the beauty of it, to look without the seer. Because the moment the seer comes in, the observer comes in, he divides. And the division is all right as long as it's descriptive. But when you are living, that division is destructive. I don't know if you have noticed.
Yes, what was running through my mind was this continuous propaganda that we hear about the techniques that are available to still the mind. But that requires a stiller to do the stilling.
No,
and so that is absolutely, I'm using your words, absolutely and totally out of any possibility of attaining.
But yet, you see, that's what the gurus are doing.
Yes, I do understand.
The imported gurus and the native gurus are doing this. They are really destroying people. You follow, sir? We'll talk about when the occasion arises. What we are now concerned is measurement, which is the whole movement of commercialism, consumerism, technology, is now the pattern of the world. Begun in the West and made more and more and more perfect in the West, and that's spreading all over the world. Go to the most smallest little town in India or anywhere, the same pattern being repeated. And the village you go, and they are so miserable and happy, one meal a day,